Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to show everybody this is the cup that I made yesterday. If you watched my video, it's now cured and the inside's been cleaned of any spray paint that got up in there while I was painting it white. And you can see the bottom is done, and it's got some really pretty colors in it. So this is the little lid, and it fits right down on it. There's no doesn't hit the resin or scrape it or scrub it, but I just wanted to show you after it's cured for about 24 hours. It's actually been a little bit longer. I was going to do this video this morning, but came up with a better idea. We are going to do a cup today, but I've seen some videos on how to make homemade alcohol ink, and I wanted to try to do a cup today because I haven't done it, and I wanted to see did it really work with the alcohol ink. So these are just markers. Some are infinity, some are Sharpies. These are just, I have a big collection of markers. So I went ahead and made up some, and I went to Dollar Tree, and they have these packages. There's actually, it's a little travel bottles, and there's one that's a sprayer, and there's two that are not. So I bought about 10 of them just so that I could have the sprayers. And what I'm going to do is, or what I've done is, I've made a few. I have 6 of them done. Alcohol inks made with the markers, and I'm going to do a cup today and see how it actually looks. And this is rubbing alcohol. I get this from Walmart, and this is 91%. If you're gonna try to do something like this, I would suggest using the better alcohol. And I'm doing mine just a little bit different than what I've seen everybody else do, just because I didn't want to waste any of the pigmentation by just taking the little pieces out and squeezing them. I figure it's a squirt bottle, so what I did was I just filled it up, put the pieces in there, and left them inside the bottle so that I could get every bit of the pigmentation out of it. But all I did was I filled up a bottle with alcohol, and I think I'm going to do this green. I have a dark green, so I'm going to do a light green just to show everybody how I did it. So you take the cap off, and I took a little pair of pliers and pulled the tip out first and dropped it right in the bottle. And I'm going to go ahead and put some gloves on because this next part can get a little bit messy, and I don't want to stain my hands red and green and blue. But you're going to take and pull it apart and just throw that piece away, and this is the piece that you want. And everybody says cut it in about 3 sections, so that's what I did, and took an X-Acto knife and cut. There's a little plastic outing on these, and I just took and scored it, cut it open, kind of spread it out a little bit, and I decided to just go ahead and leave it in the bottle because I can't see that little sprayer picking up these fibers, and just drop it in the bottle and move on to the next little piece. Just score that little plastic outing and open it up a little bit and drop it right in the bottle. And you can see I'm getting green on my gloves. So, and I figured if this doesn't work like I want it to, I can always take the cup and strip it down, and then I just put a little cap on it and shook it up. Now mine have been sitting, I did these about 1 o'clock today, and let's see, it's now a little after 4, so they've been sitting about 4 hours, and you can see it's changed the alcohol color quite a bit, and it seemed like the longer that it set, the darker the colors became. So I'm glad I decided to leave the pieces inside. So I'm going to go ahead and do a cup with these inks and see how it works out today, and see if this homemade ink actually does work, because the little bottles that I bought, although they're bright colors, they're a little bit on the expensive side. It's like $11.99 for 3 little tiny bottles, and you can see the difference in size. So if I can make them at home with whatever colors I choose out of markers, I get a better variety of colors, and it'll be a lot cheaper than buying the ones at Hobby Lobby. So I have my tumbler, and it's all painted, and I'm going to slide it up on my football. And I also have my resin already measured out, so I'm going to go ahead and mix those up. You can see it's cloudy, so you just want to keep stirring it until it kind of clears up again. I'm hoping that if nothing else, these ink colors that I made today will at least be pastel-y looking against the white. So I won't be able to do the drop technique today, but more of a spray. So we'll see how this works out. And if you get to see this video, that means I was happy with the outcome of it, and maybe it will allow others to make these cups on the cheaper side, because the alcohol inks are a little bit expensive, and making it this way, you get a lot more for your money. If you're like me, I go to a lot of second-hand shops, and I'm always looking for markers or materials or anything that I can use for my crafts. Make sure you scrape the sides. And this is about ready. And because it's a little bit cool in my room, I'm going to set this in some warm water for just a few minutes. And this is what it's just a bowl, little tiny bowl with just enough water in it that when I set my little cup in it, it doesn't float away or tip over. It's just enough to warm it up a little bit. And I am missing my straw. So, oh no, here it is, right there. And as you can see, by blowing on it just a little bit, I didn't burn anything, and there are no bubbles, there are no little fish eyes. It's nice and smooth, and it come out beautiful. So sometimes it's just the little tiny things that can make a difference. Sorry. Okay, so I have my resin and I have my little cup turning, and we're just going to do like yesterday and apply the resin and just get it going. I like to kind of do the middle and then spread it down to the ends once I get the biggest portion of it covered. Just brush it all the way to the end. And don't forget the bottom. And it looks like it's covered fairly well, and I've not missed anything. So I'm going to let it spin for just a few minutes and let it level out while I blow on it to make sure that there are absolutely no bubbles. Alrighty, so we've let it level out some, and the colors that I have are red and Fandango pink, orange, yellow, deep sea blue, forest green, and this is another color green, the one that I just did, and you can see it's got really dark by leaving the pieces in there. So let's start out with the Fandango pink, and again, I can't drip these, but I'm going to blast, and we'll see. So just kind of spray it and open up your colors. This is the yellow. And this is orange. And let's use this green that I just made up. Throw some of that up in there. And I see that it's speckling. And some blue. Maybe some there. And we'll throw some red up in here. Come back with yellow. Don't forget the bottom. And you might have to do several different sprays, go-arounds with the different colors, and let them run. So I think it is going to be more of a pastel-y than a bright, vivid coloring, which is fine too, because not everybody likes the bright or dark colors. Let's get some green. Some green up in here. And this is red. We'll add some red up in the blue. As you can see, it makes a mess down here, but just take some paper towels and lay it down there to soak it up. I'll add some, this is deep sea blue, as soon as it comes back around. Maybe some red here. Green. You can see the colors are running together. I'm not sure I'm liking the white spots, but we might could clean those up. Maybe if I didn't burst it, spraying it so hard. This is a learning process for me as well. This is the first time that I've done this type, so Well, so far, other than the little white bursts, the little tiny white dots, I think I'm liking it. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit and see if y'all can see it better. So I'm going to let this spin for about 30 minutes, and I will be back and show you what it looks like after it has spun for a while. And we'll go from there. See you in a little bit. Okay, so I'm back. It's been about 30 minutes that this has been spinning and morphing, and I'm going to see if I can get a little bit closer so that you can see the colors. And these are the alcohol inks that I made out of markers, and these are the inks that you buy. So you can see there's quite a difference in color. This one is still pretty. It's more of a pastel-y color, more girly, if that's how you want to say it. It's still got some beautiful marbling and coloring in it. There's a few little spots that are darker than others, of course, because of the coloring itself. So this does work if you don't mind a lighter color in ink. It definitely is a lot cheaper to do it this way versus buying the little tiny bottles. You can pick up markers just about anywhere fairly cheap, to include the Dollar Tree. These little bottles, they come in 3 sets. I hated it that it only had one sprayer per bag, but I can always use the other ones just to make ahead some inks and store them, and I can always switch out the spray parts. So I just wanted to do this little video for anybody that wants to do this. Like I said, the ones from Hobby Lobby, they're a little bit pricey. So this is an alternative if you want to make your own inks at home. And again, I use the 91% rubbing alcohol, and so this is what we got. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and we'll see you next time.